and the mad, insane twonk that lives inside it. Me. Anyhow, here we are with our 3D printer from Moss, which is starting to look rather good. If you can remember in last month's video, which seems an age away, having had Christmas in between now and then, we installed the front panel, the back panel, and the power button mechanism behind here. We also installed, see him better from that angle, the power button and its mechanism behind there, and the power switch and its mechanism there. There is the power switch. There we go. Oop, drop it down a little bit. There we go. So, and that quite changed the look of the whole thing. So this month is actually another big month for the printer, because we're going to start installing its brains. Yes, the main motherboard and a few accessories belonging to it are going to be going in. And you'll also be glad to know that the month before last, I reported that the front part, this one, had, was it that one? No, that one. I think it was that one. Anyway, yeah, one of these arrived, but the bottom clip has broke off it. Moss have eventually, because it was over the Christmas period, so it took a while, they have now provided me with a replacement, so I'll be installing that during this session. So, that's the printer as it is now. Let's go and look at the magazines, and then we'll start the next part of the build. I'll be right back. Right, so this month we are dealing with issues 52 to 55 of the magazine. So, let's have a look at issue 52. In this issue, V3 printer part, USB board, which we'll have a look in a moment. 3D modelling, looks like a linked thing, and 3D printing, forgeries and reproductions. Ooh, ooh, big business. Big business. Right. Just raise this camera very slightly, because that's very slightly. There we go, out of frame. Right, okay. Fake it. Offering as it does the ability to copy an object precisely, 3D printing has a double edge. As the technology grows ever more sophisticated, the risk of it falling into criminal hands brings ever higher stakes. How the hell would you 3D print something like that? A 3D printed reproduction of Vincent van Gogh's sunflowers from the Van Gogh Museum Revlo collection. It takes around 4 hours to print each Revlo. Every detail is faithfully recreated, including the artist's hallmark impasto thickly painted effect. Christ, the cost it would be to get a printer that could do that. Anywho, so it doesn't make it accessible to everybody, does it? Mind you, there we go. Anyway, so yep, it's covering mainly paintings. Obviously, there's a market for keys, 3D printed keys in this. You could 3D scan a key or do a wax imprint, and then there you go, Bob's your uncle. You can reprint it. Whether it be strong enough to do in some of the locks, I do not know. Welcome to Blender. Oh bloody hell, Blender's made an appearance. I didn't expect that. Until now, our tutorials have focused on the highly successful Ketchup Make software. With that experience gained, it's time to take it to the next level with a more advanced and versatile package called Blender. I did not know they were going to do this. I know Blender because I used to do 3D animations. There's actually one on YouTube somewhere lost. I can't find where it was. It's from a long time ago. But I did not know they were going to move over for Blender. Blender's criticised for being quite complex. At least it was when I used it. So it'll be interesting to see how far they take this. Mind you, we've got 30 odd magazines left, so there's plenty of time to cover most of it. Main work screen, grabbing the basics. I'll tell you what, I might just miss out the SketchUp and go straight to this, if they're going to cover it. Could be interesting. Grabbing the basics. Okay, cube manipulating. Vector 3 USB board. Let's have a look for that. in the parts here somewhere. That's the guy. Ta-da. Number 52. So I'm going to be installing the USB. Should be one of the simpler jobs. Although putting these screws behind there is sometimes a little bit, yeah, fiddly, to say the least. Okay, balloon jet car. Huh? Part 2, I don't remember part 1. Chris, must have gone past that. The GoPro case. I don't have a GoPro, but I do have a camera similar, so that could have some uses. So I'm just looking at this. Print and attach wheels to your jet car. Add a blown up. Oh yeah, I remember it now. It's just a balloon one. I thought it was something with a fan for a second there. Linkable bracelet and using slicer. A full version of slicing software Slicer gives you extra control over the slicing and printing settings for your 3D models. Try saying that junk. I will tonight. Okay, and next month, and they're trying to sell us some stuff there. So, yeah, Femmes Fatales. Not for geeks like me. Okay, number 53. Ta-da. You may have noticed I've changed the colour of the table here to help with the picture, and we've now got different lighting to stop all the reflections and light the whole thing up much better. Okay. Decor on... sorry, I didn't cover the front. In this issue, main controller board. Yay! The brains. 3D modelling step by step. That looks quite good. And 3D printing inspiring home decor ideas. Okay. Decor on demand. 3D printing allows artists and designers to experiment with exciting new shapes and materials in a range of colours and sizes. Here are some inspirational 3D printed home decor ideas. I'm just going to have a quick sup of tea. That's quite good actually. I'd like to do some, it's just inspired me, I've been inspired to do like a vase that's exploding at the top. That would be awesome. I've come up with an idea. Okay, different, but I'm not really into those on the wall anyway. So as you could take this concept and do something different, like a, well, no, just off the top of my head, joystick, something, Commodore 64. Take that idea and light it. That'd be quite good. I like them. The candle holders thingies, they are good. Object mode and edit mode. So we're still going on with Blender here. Hopefully all the way, because if it's so, I will just stick with Blender. I will not bother with SketchUp. I wish they told us we were going to do this. I had to save me studying. Damn it! Damn you, Eaglemoss! Damn you! Edit mode. Okay, editing the shapes. A lot of key shortcuts in Blender. Blender's free, entirely free. It was developed for industry and it used to cost a fortune, but then it got bought out and set up for free. Right, okay. Oh, hang on. Main controller board. Your parts. Motor driver board. That's what we've already got, isn't it? So it looks like the part we've been using to testing is now becoming part of the system. Okay. Didn't know that. So that's going onto there. Motor driver board is going onto there. And then... hey. Right, take that. A, B. Take them in. Yeah, we'll have a look in a second when we do it. And then that whole assembly sort of attaches to the motherboard. Okie dokie. We shall do that in a bit. It's just starting to get brains. Ooh. And more instructions. And then we're connecting everything. Yes! Finally. And they've had to cut back to one thing here. Al Castillo. Okay. And Ultron stuff. Ta-da! Sorry, I must show you the 53 part. Sorry, 54. That's the board. Apparently, it looks like that fits onto the board we've been using to test. So, there we go. That's a good idea. Right, 53. 54. apple is here. Ta-da. Right. In this issue, V3 Motherboard, Motor Driver Board 2, 3D modeling step by step and 3D printing inspired by nature. Introducing biomimicry. Biomimicry oh God, I can't speak. Biomimicry means imitating a life. Not before time, designers and users in the 3D print world are looking to nature for perfectly evolved ideas. Okay, real life mako shark denticles measure just 150 micrometers across, too small to 3D print, so in its experiments the WISP team scaled everything up to a more manageable size. Okay. So, oh, look at that. That'd be good for cosplay and stuff like that, or just private time. Precision printing. Before you can embark on a project that uses real world measurements, Blender has to be set up with certain user settings. This essential tutorial guides you through the process. So it looks like we've completely given up on SketchUp and gone to Blender. Thanks for that. Why didn't you just go Blender first? But I suppose the reason is that SketchUp's a much simpler interface than Blender. But there again, maybe they should have trusted subscribers to be able to do this straight off. I don't know the reason, but they did it. So there. Anywho, alright. Ruler and protractor. As with your workspace properly set up, it isn't difficult to find measurements for the object you're working on, as well as the property fields in the various toolbars. You can also use the ruler and protractor tool. Very good. Right, so there we go, more of that. And Vector 3, Motor Driver Board 2. This is issue 54. So, yeah. Yeah. 55. Oh, no, 54. That one. Another one of them. I caught this up, haven't I? Hang on. 53, I should have showed you that. The motherboard. There we go. Ta-da. And 54 is a motor driver board. I think 55 is going to be the same. So, let's right, single cylinder engine. Okay, that's different. Part 1. Okay. That could be interesting. Queen Anne style table. Doesn't look like Queen Anne. No, definitely not. And pyramid paperweight. This intricate little polyhedron pyramid to you and me is the perfect desktop paperweight. Standing just over 4 centimeters, it doesn't take much space on the desktop, but it's solid enough to keep important papers in place. And Blender themes. In this issue's 3D design tutorial, we've given Blender a different look. If you'd like to change your workspace theme, the online community BlendSwap offers a choice of colours themes that are free to download. Something I never usually bother with. I usually just leave it as it is. That's quite good though. It's quite nice. And an export. Okay. Number 55. There's number 55. Like that. Just like that. So, in this issue, there's a cup of tea. I need a quick drink of tea. Right. V3 printer part, motor driver board. What's your dogger? Down here. Down there. Motor driver board 3. 3D modeling step by step, and 3D printing and pharmaceuticals. 3D print at the pharmacy. Fancy picking up your prescription pills from a print bed? 3D printing is coming to the pharmacy. So, 3D printing medication. Okay. That's a complex subject and complex machines. Christ. So that'll be interesting to read. Building a house part 1. This is in Blender. Yay! Blender. Coming soon, luxury development. So looks like going back to basics on Blender. So my plan therefore is to cut out SketchUp completely, download Blender and do that. Please give us warning next time you're going to do that. You invest all this time into one program just to find out showing you how to use a better one. Subdividing and extruding. I suppose they can move the subject matter on faster now that people from the SketchUp tutorials understand the subject matter more. Okay, back to 3, motor drive board 355, which is hiding here. There we go. Another motorboard driver thingy jobber. So it's the same as the other one. And that will go in there. Ta-da! Okay. This will be able to get all these cables out of the way now. Single cylinder engine part 2. It'd be interesting to print this out because it's a multi-part thing. How to build the single cylinder engine. Complete the compact piston print and follow the assembly instructions to get it moving. Okay. Right. Large cable clip. That's handy in my world. Desktop gecko. Yay. And next month we're getting another motor driver board. Okay, so this month we have motherboard, USB, and 2 driver boards, and the original tester board, which is over there to put in, and of course the replacement part, which was broken. The new one looks to be intact. Thank you very much. So we'll start fitting each part and come back after each one and show you the progress. I'll be right back. Right, here we are at the back of the printer. Now I've replaced the part here that they've sent me, and we've also installed the USB port. Now there was a problem here. Managed to do it, but I do think Egomos have cocked up on this one, because to get this in you have got to remove, you have no choice really but to remove this power supply. So yep, you have to take this back out, and then the screws that attach this. First of all, the USB port really struggles to get into the 2 slots, and then these 2 screws you've got to put up a lot of pressure on to get them in, which is a pain in the ass. You're putting a lot of pressure on the back of this here, so they seem to be just slightly too big for the holes, so if you don't get them straight you're going to be in trouble. And then when you put this power unit back on, getting the screw that's down here takes a lot of effort, and it's almost impossible, but we did it. So that's the USB port installed finally, and on to the next task. Right, I am back, in case you couldn't tell, and what I've done the remaining episodes in one shot, because what we've had to do, first of all, we had to take the driver board off the original motor tester board that we had, and then that sits off. That first driver board there, oh god, straighten the camera up, is the original driver board from the motor tester board, which is now part of the machine. So the motor tester board actually becomes part of the printer, and we then installed the motherboard, and we had to plug all the different motors, stop switches into various positions here. One driver for each of the axes. There's still one driver to go in a future episodes, but you can see X, Y, so you've got the X motor, X stop switch, Y motor, Y stop switch, and then the Z over there. We've also got the USB plug plugged into here. What else have we got? We've got the main switch plugged into here. Now the only thing I'm worried about is this switch here. I'm hoping they'll tell us which position to put this on in before the whole thing shuts up, because it's in the off position at the moment and probably won't work. So I may have to put that in the on position before this printer's ever activated. Pain in the arse to get some of these screws in because of the position of them. Especially that one and that one over there, the far end. They were a pain in the ass to get in, but they are in now. And this one's printerizing is complete. Yes. So there we go. That is this month's 3D printer. So next month, more of the same, I think. And then there's a cashew coming. There's a fan down there as well, I think, and we've got more gubbins to put in up here and wiring down there. So I think this is going to be remain open for a while. Because it's got the print head and everything to install. So I haven't looked what's coming next month, apart from one driver. So if you like this video, please subscribe. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. That does help. Links to my social media are down below. And all that remains to say is thank you very much.
You need to quit being dirty. You're a dirty boy.